In this video, we're going to set time commitments for your service. But before we configure them, let's cover the essentials. What is a time commitment here, and why is your service incomplete without one? Think again about the technical support of your internet provider. When you write to them, they don't just confirm that they received your case. They tell you when they will respond and when it should be resolved. That is what turns a request inbox into an actual service. It's not simply that someone attends to the request. It's that someone commits to attending to it within a specific time frame. This commitment has two distinct time frames that shouldn't be confused. One is how long it takes you to get back to them, to say you're already looking at it. The other is how long it takes you to fully resolve it. And this doesn't apply only to technical support. Think about a fulfillment team, the one that ships the orders. The email confirming your purchase arrives in 1 minute, and the box arrives on Thursday. Both are commitments, and neither one replaces the other. That commitment needs to be documented somewhere, and not just for the sake of bureaucracy. As long as the deadline only lives in the team's head, no one really knows whether it's being met. However, when you declare it here, 3 things happen. Every ticket is created with its due date already set. Whoever handles it can see the remaining time without asking anyone, and you can review the service and know whether it's delivering on what you promised. Here's an important detail about how this works. The commitment is tied to the ticket's priority. This makes sense because you don't promise the same response for something urgent as you would for something routine. Therefore, you declare a commitment for each priority level that you actually use. In this example, we have the contract review service with its first level, the paralegals, which already has its board and its team. What's missing is precisely this: deciding how quickly we respond and how quickly we resolve. For the contract review, we will commit to providing the first response within 4 hours and returning the review within 2 days. That is what we are going to put in writing. The deadline is not set on the service itself. It is set on the service level. This makes sense because the level is the one that answers, and each level can promise different times. Let's open the service level. At the top, you'll find the SLA tab. Those letters are the short form of what we just explained. The service level agreement, or the time you commit to. The tab is empty because this level doesn't promise anything yet. On the right, you'll find the Add SLA button. Click it, and the Add New SLA window will open. The first line explains its purpose: to configure the response and resolution times. At the top, you'll find the SLA Name field. This is the name of the commitment, not the service, and it should read as exactly that. The examples it suggests follow that logic: standard support or premium support, because it's common to have several different commitments coexisting. In our case, we entered standard contract review. And below, you'll see ticket priority. This is where the commitment gets tied down. As the form itself states, this SLA will apply to tickets with this priority level. We'll select medium, which is the priority under which standard reviews will come in. Keep this in mind because it has a practical consequence. If a ticket marked as urgent comes in tomorrow, and you haven't created a commitment for urgent, that ticket will be created without a deadline. Every priority you use needs its own SLA. And now, the 2 times. Response time is how long it takes you to provide the first response, and it's measured in minutes. We're committing to 4 hours, so we'll enter 240. Resolution time is how long it takes you to complete the ticket, and this one is measured in hours. 2 days equals 48. Pay close attention to the units, because one field is in minutes and the other is in hours. It's easy to accidentally type 48, thinking in hours when the field actually requires minutes. Below, there's a toggle worth looking at carefully: business hours only. The idea is that the deadline clock pauses outside of business hours, so nights and weekends don't count. Currently, the deadline runs continuously from the moment the ticket comes in, without pausing, so we'll leave it off. This way, what you see on the screen matches what will actually happen. When you promise 4 hours, it means 4 hours on the clock. In other words, here's a tip when choosing these numbers. Think of deadlines as continuous time, not as office hours. And just below, you'll see Enable Escalation. This isn't about deadlines anymore. It's about what you do when a case gets too big and needs to be escalated to a more experienced level, and that decision is made from the ticket itself. We'll leave it off here because today we're focused on setting the commitment. Below, you'll find the SLA Enabled option, which is turned on by default. This is what activates the commitment. It ensures this commitment is actually applied to new tickets. Turning it off keeps it saved, but dormant. This is useful for preparing a commitment that you don't want to take effect just yet. We'll leave it enabled and save it using the Add SLA button. And there's the commitment. This is the tab that was empty just a moment ago. Take a look at the card, because it summarizes the entire agreement at a glance. The name, the priority it applies to, and the fact that it's active. Below, you'll find the times: 4 hours to respond and 48 hours to resolve. On the right, you'll find the buttons to edit or delete it, because a commitment isn't meant to last forever. If your team grows or the work changes, you can adjust it right here. And this is what changes from now on. Every ticket that enters this level with medium priority will be created with both dates already set, without anyone having to enter them manually. Whoever handles it will see the remaining time within the ticket itself, and the service, which until now only knew who was handling it, now also knows what it committed to. With that, the level is complete. It has somewhere for the work to land, someone to handle it, and a time to do it in. You can start working.